Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we love having our guest speakers come on the show. In this case, we're talking with Paul Epstein. He recently spoke at our City Current Signature Speaker Series in Memphis. He is a 2-time best-selling author. When you talk about the power of playing offense, better decisions faster. So we're going to talk about the books. We're going to talk about building momentum. We're going to talk about him being an executive with the NFL and the NBA. We have a lot to unpack, but Paul, how are you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm so fired up to be here, my friend. It's only been a couple of weeks, but bear hugs, man. I just absolutely loved our time together.
Well, you are a momentum expert. We'll talk all about that, how to make better decisions faster. You shared a wealth of information at the event. And we also had a chance to take you on a tour of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So, show you some Memphis, but give us a little recap, a little bit of a teaser for your experience in Memphis and you being on stage sharing your expertise.
Well, I opened the speech by saying this when I addressed the hundreds that were in the audience. And I said, it may have been my first time to Memphis, but it will most certainly not be my last. Because I loved it. Like, I fell in love with the vibe and the spirit. And look, like, you get in, and of course, everybody talks about the barbecue, which that's going to be a great incentive. You got to dangle that carrot for me, and we're going to go to some of the city's best. But man, as soon as you dive in, and as soon as you and I connected, and then that whole experience of St. Jude, and it's just life changing, life impacting your lens on how you view the world. It shifts in a beautiful way. We were laughing, we were crying, it's just this gauntlet of emotions, and it's supposed to be that way because that's life. And so to hang out with just a lot of the execs there, it was just an amazing time. And then, of course, we had this special dinner where we were riffing with some of our partners and sponsors and some of the great folks that make City Current really go. And we were talking about questions like, what's your favorite smell? And if somebody had to play you in a movie, who would it be and why? And if you were trapped on a deserted island and you had asked the genie. And so that's not your normal business dinner. That's a human dinner. And that was kind of this through line. And then, of course, the massive cherry on top and the biggest show of them all was Friday morning when we got to jam out in front of your entire organization. And really, when I heard power the good, you see a lot of mantras, you see a lot of slogans, you see a lot of words that are out there. And I always say, whether it's a mission or your values, we've got two options. Are they words on a wall, or are they a way of life? And when I left Memphis, fresh off of speaking at City Current, I knew that this is like a 365 operating system. This is who we are. This is what we stand for. This is how we show up, and we don't take days off, which you said about momentum. Y'all are building momentum in the community and beyond. And so that's really my massive takeaway is power the good is a way of life, and it's the fuel and it's the oxygen. And so again, just thank you for having me. I'm still beaming from our time together.
Well, and that's why we're going to get you out to Nashville soon too. But
let's do it.
Let's go ahead and dive in, because I mentioned, executive in the NFL and the NBA. When you look at the success there, and I like that you kind of coined, hope dealer, because you can sell results or you can sell hope. And so give us a little bit of your backstory tied to what led you to write these 2 best-selling books.
For sure. So The Power of Playing Offense is a leadership playbook that I never had. Because I know we have a lot of leaders and entrepreneurs and executives that are listening in, or the leaders of tomorrow, even if you're in school, but you say, hey, one day I want to lead a team. I want to lead a culture. I want to lead an organization. If we were to use a sports analogy, when you become a positional leader, it's kind of like going from player to coach. And in sports, we understand that just because you're a great player doesn't mean you're destined to be a great coach. But in business, the default setting is, well, if you sold a lot of widgets, you should manage the sellers. Like it's just kind of this default promotion. And in my case, where I finally got that call up, I finally got to say, hey, now I can lead a team. And I asked for a playbook and they gave me a weird look and they said, good luck. There was no training and development program. Like here's a scary statistic for you. And it's a sad statistic, but I'm on a mission to flip this on its head. Did you know that 60% of managers and above have never received a single day of leadership training? Never. That's a problem. And so rather than complain about that gap in the market, I wrote the solution. So the power of playing offense was unpacking my 15 years of leading teams on the business side of the NFL and the NBA. And it was the playbook that I needed when I started my leadership journey. And it takes this arc. There's 5 pillars that range from one about purpose, one about grit and resilience, one about belonging and mattering, one about how culture can become your competitive advantage. And then the final one is about impact and legacy. And so it's this through line of leading self to leading others to leading the future. So that's the power of playing offense. And then what happens, Jeremy, after you write a book like that, especially with a catchy title like The Power of Playing Offense, and you compare offense versus defense all day long, and you do interviews like this. So people ask you, hey, Paul, so just simplify this for me. If you could just bring it down to one thing, what's one thing, that silver bullet separator of those that play offense versus defense? And so my team and I, we go back to the lab, our consulting notes, our training notes, our coaching notes, our podcast transcriptions, all that good stuff. And we found the silver bullet. We found this theme of, oh, this is what offensive people, teams, and organizations do differently than those that play defense. And it is those that play offense are highly decisive. They are decisive, prioritize action over outcome. Imperfect action is an ally, because the fork in the road for a defensive person is I succeed or I fail. The fork in the road for an offensive person is I succeed or I learn. I succeed or I grow. And so when we realize that decisiveness is like, I don't need all the information. I don't need all the data points. I'm just going to take a swing of the bat, and I'm either going to get the outcome I want or I'm going to learn and grow. And so with that, when I realized, oh, decisiveness is that's the secret sauce, but let's not just make decisions, let's make them better and faster. And so that's why I wrote Better Decisions Faster. It's really a playbook for how to have unshakable confidence and clarity and peace of mind when we're making those decisions of higher value, higher consequence, because show me the quality of your decisions, I'll show you the quality of your life. You got to be decisive. You got to make better decisions faster, because the compounding effect of that can just transform everything that we do, from our career, our health, our relationships, everything. So that's why I wrote the book.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, everything is the choices you make. And so when you look at that, you're speaking at the Signature Speaker Series event, you shared a ton of great insight and lessons and models. I want to hone in on the better decisions faster, making better decisions faster, because I think one of the cool things is you talked a lot about your head, your heart, your hands, right? And so give a little bit of that away, because I want to focus in there. And then, for everyone else, we'll kind of leave all the takeaways and where to go to carry the conversation forward. But let's hone in on that side. So describe hands, heart, or the heart, the head, hand, the heart, and the hands.
100%, brother. I got you. So, the cool thing here is, all right, if you just say, hey, world, you should go make better decisions faster, they would say, thank you, Captain Obvious. Of course I want to make better decisions faster, Paul. Like, come on, dude, help me with the how. How do I make better decisions faster? And so the process within the book, and that I speak about from stages, is called the head, heart, hands equation. So quick 1 to 2 minute masterclass. Think of your head as your mindset, your heart as your authenticity, and hands as action. So the equation is head plus heart equals hands. In other words, when deciding whether to use your hands, whether to take action, there's 2 checkpoints, head and heart. Head, do I think it's a good idea? Heart, do I feel it's a good idea? And just like when you're driving a car, you pull up to an intersection, you know exactly what to do. Green is go, red is stop, yellow is assess. And that's how the equation works. When your head and heart are on board, it is a green light. 10 out of 10 times, take that action. The opposite, no head, no heart, red light. Don't do it or stop doing it. And then when either your head or your heart is on board, it's a yellow light and you got to solve for the gap. So really the spirit of the book, the how-to of the book, and the mission of the book is we all deserve an abundance of green lights. You want a green light life. And so this equation helps you with that. We also need the awareness to stop running reds because when you run reds for months or years, you often don't know it. It's often subconscious and you end up in this deeper, darker place. Oh, I'm burned out. I'm not happy. I'm not fulfilled. Nobody got there overnight, but we were probably running red lights without knowing it. So now we can label something a red light and we have the awareness to stop running it thanks to the head, heart, hands equation. So you want more green, you want to stop running red, and then the yellow is the messy middle. Yellows are hard. And with that, the biggest payoff of the book, Better Decisions Faster, is finally we will have a playbook for how to conquer and navigate the messy middle of yellow.
And that's where we'll let everyone go and read the book, right? Like that's the great teaser on that side. So how to navigate the messy yellow. But let's switch that over into momentum. So when you talk about momentum, it's created by choices, right? So making better decisions faster, getting to those green lights, avoiding the red lights and stopping. But talk about how this plays into winning Monday, creating momentum, momentum Monday. Talk about momentum.
Absolutely. And this all comes back to, all right, I don't know if you've ever heard this, Jeremy, but they often say that we are best equipped to serve who we once were. We are best equipped to serve who we once were. So whatever problems you've overcome, pain points, challenges, wherever you figured out some insights on how to overcome it. So here's the quick backstory, super quick. All right, so now I'm a speaker, right? And now I speak all over the globe, and as do you, and we have the blessing and the honor and the privilege of just being able to leave people in places better than we found them. It's the greatest thing in the world. Like I found my calling, just freaking love it. But here's the reality. Way before I was a speaker, I was attending tons of events, right? Just from personal growth to leadership to you name it. And for the best of the best of the best of events, you leave inspired. You're ready to take over the world and you're just so fired up. But then Monday morning hits. And then your inbox or your family or your boss, life just happens. And then we get back in the hamster wheel, we get back in the grind and the hustle, and TikTok, 1 or 2 weeks go by and we reflect back on that once inspiring event and poof, it's a sugar high. And I was sick and tired of having sugar highs. So I promised myself, what's one new thing that I'm going to do on Monday? And when I started to be very intentional about the kickoff to the week, because when we win Monday, we have momentum to win Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it keeps rolling. And so that was me personally as an individual. And then now as a speaker, we create this Monday Momentum program, which is really just this 52-week journey to say, I know life is crazy. I know life is hard. I know we have competing interests for our time and we get distracted. We're just human beings here. That's all. And so because of these constant pulls and tugs and tensions and triggers, I said, if I could just knock on the door and say, hey, it's a new week. It's a reset button. It's Monday. Let's win the day and create more momentum in our business, in our lives. So yes, it's a program and this is a gift. This is just something I'll tell everybody where to find it in a second. But really for me, I just believe that we're momentum machines. I believe that people are momentum machines and we all have the capacity to win a day. And when we can win a day, now we have a playbook. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. If you win a day, you bottle up the learnings and the insights and the best practices and what did I do to win that day? And then you just rinse, repeat. but then eventually we'll get distracted. So I just wanted to make sure that once a week I said, knock, knock. Remember, this is a winning day. And here's one new thing. So when I send out Monday Momentum, I say, here's one thing you can do this week. And you want to customize your momentum journey. But really, it's a growth engine. It's a growth engine, right? We all want to grow. We all want to be 1% better. And I wanted to be a part of that solution.
Well, I think this will be music to your ears because, for you, you're about creating impact, and already downloading the resources, being a part of Monday Momentum. Even for my wife, she's already, pulling in and using it with her team. And she's like, this is awesome. So talk about where we go to carry this forward. How do we all become a part of Monday Momentum?
Love it. winmonday.win. How's that for easy? Go to the website, winmonday.win, and that'll just get you right over to the Monday Momentum page, and obviously just flip in your email. And I just want to say from the heart that this is probably the coolest thing I've ever been a part of. Like writing books is great and everything is great, but it's a grind, as you know. And so to say that you love every moment of it, said no author ever. It's a lot. But Monday Momentum has brought me a lot of bliss, a tremendous amount of inner peace and joy and fulfillment, because it's like the medicine that I need, and I get to pay it forward. You pay this gift of purpose forward. You pay this gift of momentum forward. You pay this gift of impact forward. It's not just about success. It's about significance, right? It's just this beautiful, beautiful way of just helping people and helping myself. And as I say, it's a partnership, and we're going to meet at the 50. So thank you from the heart for everybody that does head over to winmonday.win, and I will see you on the inside of Monday Momentum.
Well, Paul Epstein, you are powering the good on so many fronts. Greatly appreciate all you do, buddy. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the cityCURRENT Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.